So Alex, pre-season's well underway. I think you've had 4 sessions now. Just had one today. Thought we'd catch up with you, see how you're feeling ahead of Earlham, and just a bit of an update on how pre-season's gone so far.
Yeah, so 4 sessions in. So we started last Saturday, and it's been a really good 4 sessions. We've had tough, to be honest. They've been sort of tough running sessions, but the idea behind it was to have to effectively base them for 4 sessions, see where we're at. We've had running targets and metrics that the lads have been able to hit quite comfortably, and it just sort of means that we can now go into friendlies sort of in a really good place fitness wise. And excited to get going and excited to start the games.
A few new additions to the squad. So obviously we brought in George Milner, and then a couple of nice returnees, I suppose, for supporters with Jack Grundy and Umar Kamara. Just thinking behind those 3 signings.
Yes, we needed some centre mid covering. Bales obviously left back in sort of Christmas time, January February time last season. And then Teddy came in, but then Teddy's moved on after his loan expired. So we needed another centre mid in, and George were available, and sort of probably ticks all his boxes. He's a different centre mid to what we've already got at the club. He's got a really good pedigree, leadership point of view. He's fantastic. And he's probably something different. He adds another dimension to his midfield that Brewster, Shep, Sean, Joe, Mason that don't necessarily have, in the sense that he's a bit of a destroyer. And we need that, and there's different players for different situations, so George became available and we managed to get him in. Getting Grundy back was a bit of a priority, if I'm honest. Me and Phil probably identified early doors in the off season that getting Jack Grundy back would be good. Can cover sort of 3 different positions and do all 3 of them really well. So yeah, getting Grundy back in, and Umar became available as well. I wanted another striker in. Simple fact that sort of Umar scores goals. There's no 2 ways around it. And I think with the delivery and the quality that we've got, putting balls into the box, I've every confidence that Umar will score. And that's probably something we definitely needed to add to in the summer. We definitely needed to add goals, and we've managed to do that with Umar. And then there's a couple of signings that we've not announced yet, but also a couple of trialists that have looked really good, really strong. So I would suspect that by probably the time in which we play Troylston here, we would have a full settled squad. I'd like to think we'll have a full sort of 20, 21 sorted by then, all being well.
Just going to ask you probably sort of answered the question already, but trialists that have come in, how many trialists have we got? How many do you expect to see in those first Earlham game?
I'd say there's probably going to be 4 trialists on Tuesday against Earlham, and then depending how they do, they'll probably possibly feature again. If not, we'll sign. If not, we'll sort of release and sort of tell them to go get football elsewhere. But yeah, we've not. It's a funny one with trialists because you can't really bank on them. Sort of, they're obviously chancing their arm at certain clubs, and listen, you need a club in football. You're not going to just put all your eggs in one basket. So yeah, we've not really, because we retained so many players, we didn't need an enormous amount of trialists. So you get probably every manager will know that you get a huge amount of interest and stuff in the off season from lads wanting to play football, and we're no different this season. We're no different. But what we managed to probably do is probably pick what type of trialist that we wanted and what type sort of position. Being able to retain 14 to 15, it's meant that we don't need open heart surgery and bringing lads in and ripping everything up. So we're able to be a bit selective, and I think a couple of trialists that have come in have really impressed. So hopefully we can get them sorted if they impress in games.
And you've got a good set of pre-season fixtures to look ahead to. Some really good games here with Droylsden, West Tisbury Chorlton and Hyde United to finish us off. So something for fans to look forward to, and potentially some good atmospheres for a couple of the games as well. I guess that all sort of pales into comparison with, I think fixtures might be released next week, if not the week after, but the cup fixtures have come out and you probably couldn't have asked for 2 tougher games, to be fair. Yeah. So talk us through your thoughts on the Bradford, Park Avenue and Bridlington cup games.
Yeah, you're right about tough games. Bradford, Park Avenue they've made their intentions clear in the off season as to what they want to achieve next season. With some of the signings they've made have been really good signings. A couple of lads that I'm aware of, just due to sort of living near where I live or playing for teams local to where I live. They've signed them and they're really good signings. They're probably in a different position to us in the sense that they've got quite a new, fresh squad, whereas we're going in with quite a settled squad. I think the Bradford, if I'm honest, I think that they'll do very well in the East League next year, and with sort of the gaffer that Craig Elliott they've got, and the investment that they're putting in probably does mean that they'll be pushing targets up there. But at the same time, we can't fear anyone. We're in that draw because we didn't finish higher enough in league last season. There's no two ways around it. So yeah, it's a tough draw, but at the same time, it's something we can. Yeah, it's something I've no doubt that we can go there and on a big 3G pitch and a hot August. Well, you'd assume a hot August day that anything can happen. It's the beauty of the cup, and Bridlington as well is probably a bit of a weird one because that's not until sort of September, is it? So we'll have played 9 games prior to that game. So the whole look of the season might look 10 times different by the end of that. You never know. But yeah, no, it's good to at least get a couple of fixtures in, so we know probably we know where we're at, and I'm looking forward to the fixtures coming out and seeing how land lies.
Ahead of the season, any games that you particularly got your eyes on, thinking I'm looking forward to managing in that one? Obviously, Celtic at home it should be Boxing Day that we get Celtic home will stand out, but any others that you're looking at? Yeah,
I think Celtic at home is probably a standout, if I'm honest. Obviously, Beirut in our league. But to be fair, Nathan, I just want to get going now. I'm desperate to get going. We've sort of spoke to you probably daily for the past 3 months, and sort of done a lot of talking, a lot of planning, a lot of prep, a lot of work in the off season. You're desperate just to get going now, and just sort of Tuesday can't come quick enough to just play a game and then into competitive football. But I think it's a really good league next year. I think it's a really exciting league. There's a few new teams coming in that I'll be honest, I don't know much about. Sort of Walsall, Birmingham type, sort of area sides. And then you've got your stronger sides that have sort of stalwarts in this league, and I think there's a lot of teams that are seeing this year as a good opportunity to go for it. And I think with this time last season, we were talking about Hensford walking the league last season, and that didn't happen. So yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think it's can't wait to get going. Was it?
Any teams that you think are the standouts? Obviously, you've said Bury. I think most people are back, but any teams that you're looking at thinking they're well prepped for a season ahead to sort of be topping that table this year?
I think there's a few teams that have. I think what's been quite good seeing is how many teams have done like really good business early doors. So Atherton got a lot of business done early. Yeah. So you're sort of seeing what they're working with, but at the same time, Bury have retained like 75% of the squad that won the league last year, and added a couple of bits of quality to it. I think Nantwich have recruited really well. I think a lot of teams have, to be honest. I think there's a lot of sort of Vauxhall as well. I don't think you can discount Vauxhall in a lot of ways for the team that they've retained last year and recruited, and similarly with Linnets. So yeah, I think there's a lot of competition in this league, a hell of a lot, to be honest. And I couldn't call it either way because it's a 42 game season. It's a huge amount of time, and yeah, it's really exciting. There's some massive games, some big clubs.
There is. I guess moving away from on the pitch stuff, we've had a season of change on the pitch with you coming in and brought a couple of coaches in, and then obviously Phil stepping up as assistant manager. But it's also a change off the pitch with some new sponsors, and the club seems to be moving in a really positive direction at the moment. Must be quite a nice feeling, I guess, from your point of view, being in and around the club, being the manager now, and then having this almost like a big breath of fresh air where everything's sort of set and we're in a good position to sort of start looking to the future instead of just trying to tread water. Yeah, definitely. Over the past 5 years that I've been here, this is comfortably the best I've seen, the best place I've seen the club in throughout that 5 years. There seems to be a fresh outlook at things off the pitch. I think it's exciting times. Obviously, Nicky becoming a director is a huge bonus for the club, and the
doing that she does is enormous, that I just think things will happen from a fundraising point of view, but from a community point of view, from a integration of within internally as well. I think it's fantastic. It's amazing to see how well the social club's doing. I think that the events that have gone on over the summer have been fantastic, and the work that the girls are putting into that is really, really beneficial for the club. But at the same time, it's been refreshing sort of being in board meetings and seeing a real elements of positivity and sort of togetherness that's there and that's needed. There's no two ways around it. We haven't got the best resources in the league. We haven't got the biggest budget or whatever it is in the league. But what we desperately do need is we need as many people on the same page. And right now, I honestly think that the club, everyone in the club's pulling in the right direction off the pitch, and we've just got to sort of get it right on it and see where it takes us.
And pre-season, beginning of the season, back onto the pitch now, but pre-season, beginning of the season sort of always falls around that time where people start to go away. It's never the best of times for starting a season and getting loads of people behind you. But I guess just to finish off, like a message for the fans thinking about maybe buying a season ticket this season and what they can expect to see on the pitch, and just give them a reason to come down.
I think the value you get for the season ticket is enormous. The fact you can have a beer with your mates on the terrace is huge. But also at the same time, we want the park end filled and we want it loud. And we've got Umar back for folk to sing his chant. We've got real excitement going forward. We've got sort of battle tenacity in the middle, sort of stalwarts of young and old at centre half. And I just think with the group of players that we've got together now are really exciting, forward, young, ambitious, creative players that we want to entertain, and we want to score more than what we did last season. In reality, I think that the club is in such a place now that it does feel like a community, and the fact that you can come down. The ground crew themselves have had a few more volunteers, and the feedback from that is that how good the club's doing. And for me, from a fan perspective, it's a really good time to come part of it, and watch the club grow on and off the pitch. And let's come and support the lads.
Cheers, Alex. Thank you.
Cheers.